Hey, good morning. Forgive the bummy look. I literally just got home from work. It was a long, shitty night, and I had a long, crappy day prior to going to work, so my hair is a complete mess. In any event, there's the old expression: when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And basically, what that expression means is you use the same tactic to deal with all sort of problems. So if you're the person that is like a hammer, then you basically use brute force for everything. And we see that in terms of people looking at the economy, thinking that the economy is going to crash, that housing is going to come down. Housing is not going to come down. People talking about the housing market is going to crash. The housing market is not going to crash. There is already a shortage within the country. And there are thousands upon thousands of people crossing the border that are going to be looking for housing, and they're going to be looking for jobs, and they're going to be looking for consumption. And so what that will do is it will help lower the cost of labor within the country. So if you're a low skilled individual, you may be phased out by a migrant. And this is your opportunity to level up, as they say. If you have the time now, the most important thing you could do is look to reskill, look to where the future is going to be. There's a huge need for the trades. And so even like already in New York, you know, when I went back to New York a couple of weeks ago, most of the people that work like in like sending out food, like deliveries, etc. Most of the people that I saw work in the back of the kitchen, um, doing the garbage for the buildings, etc. Like a lot of these type of jobs, because migrants are not going to be able to take jobs that require a degree or much education. I see some of them work in construction, working for. There was like a Lenox Hill Hospital was doing construction over on 77th and Lexington, and I see a lot of those people that would come in, and it was very obvious that they were migrants, and they were busy, either sweeping or carrying stuff and moving stuff around, just basically doing, labor, manual labor. And then I would see some of them that would be selling food on the corner. And this is the sort of work that they're going to do. They're going to do cleaning, they're going to do housekeeping, etc. They're basically going to be the cheap labor in America. And so if that's where you are, well, then this is your opportunity to reskill and to find something that will be more suited, because you will be phased out of those jobs. The people that are coming across are going to be much hungrier. Look what happened to the migrants in New York, right? They put them up in hotels, they give them nice places, right? It's just like a drug dealer, right? You give them a little taste, give them a little taste of the good life, and you send them out there and say, go to work. Some of them will be difficult, some of them will be criminals. Most of them are here looking for work, and they're hungry, unlike many Americans who are entitled. And so many of these people, there was an article that came out a while back, and it was like a comment from like a wealthy person, and he had made the comment that poor people work the hardest. And so those are the people that are coming across. The people that are coming across the border are not the most educated. They are what America used to represent, right? Give me your poor, give me your tired, give me your hungry. That's what America used to be. But a lot of people, of course, complaining that these individuals are coming across. Most Americans don't even pay taxes. It's like 63% of Americans don't even pay taxes. They're net negative taxpayer, meaning that even though they may pay taxes, what they put into the system, what they get back, what they take away from the system, far exceeds what they put into the system. And so for people sitting here talking about, oh, they're taking our money, it's not your money. It never was your money. I mean, just look at healthcare, for example. For every dollar that is spent in healthcare, only 25 cents is paid for by the American citizen. The rest is paid for through inflation. The government just prints the money and gives it to the businesses, and those individuals can go and get health care. But they contribute at most 25 cents on the dollar. The problem is there are not enough workers, and there's a high amount of inflation, and there's a lot of debt. So there are only so many ways that you can get rid of that scenario. You can cut spending, which the American citizen is not going to let them do. And the government doesn't want to cut spending because they want inflation, because they want to inflate the debt away. The government, the people won't let the government raise taxes to cover all the welfare, right? You got Medicare, shit's going broke. So they need people to come in to work, to labor, so that they can tax, so that they can take that money and help pay for the entitlements. Because it doesn't matter if you print all that money for all these services. If you have a dwindling population, you're going to have inflation. You're going to have more inflation. So if you can either create more kids, which Americans are not doing, overwhelmingly white women are not having kids, and they are the largest demographic in the country, and they're not having children. And so when you have a dwindling population, you're not giving birth, the government's not going to cut spending, the people won't let them raise taxes. There's not a lot of options except immigration. And immigration will help cool down inflation. As more of these people come into the country, they start working, they help bring down the cost of labor, they start producing within the country, they'll start offering services, they'll start creating products, and then that will expand the economy. People thinking that this is a bad thing, it is foolish, because people are a resource. It's just Americans are entitled, and they always want more. Give me more. America sends money to Ukraine, and the people, oh, you shouldn't be sending. That's our money. And there's so many people, like everybody and their mother, talking about how everything is going to come down, collapsing. And the government is doing everything that they can to remedy the problem. If you're not going to have babies, if you're not going to work and produce goods and services, if you're not going to let the government cut spending because your wants are infinite, child tax credit, you need to pay for my student loan, you need to lower the cost of insulin, etc., then the only thing that's left for the government to do is to create inflation. But then they created too much inflation when all you people went home and didn't go to work. And so now they have to remedy the situation. And the government wants to inflict the debt away. If the government was serious about pushing back against inflation, they would not be bailing out banks, and they wouldn't be creating new spending bills. They wouldn't be, quote unquote, sending money to Ukraine. They wouldn't be doing any of these things. They'd be cutting spending. You'd see a lot of public sector jobs being cut, and they'd be cutting services. They'd be letting go of the military, etc., to cut spending. But they're not doing that. They're increasing spending. They're getting ready. They're preparing for the next leg. They're preparing for the next leg of the economy. And if you think that we're going to tank, the economy is not going to tank. Economy is getting set for a boom. If you think the housing market is going to come down while there are literally tens of thousands of people crossing the border every single day, that doesn't make any sense. You got supply and you got demand. If the demand is increasing because you got people coming across the border, how is there going to be a housing collapse? People talking about Airbnb. Airbnb is not going to be enough to collapse the housing. It's not. Because as people who have been looking, I have a studio apartment. I've really been looking for a one bedroom. Or maybe you're in a one bedroom and you're like, hey, the wife and I were looking to have kids. We really want to get a two bedroom, but it's a little pricey right now, or there's not enough what's available we don't like. Well, more stuff will come on the market and demand will meet the supply because there is a demand. There is a huge demand. People are just waiting, thinking that the market is going to come down. And it might come down a little bit and then it's going to take off. At the very least, now you have the opportunity, even though interest rates are higher, but there's less competition. There's less competition now, so you can see what's on the market and you basically have your pick. I've been looking for almost 2 years. Every time I see something that is remotely priced well, and I think I'm gonna wait a couple of months and it's gonna come down maybe 5-10%, scooped up immediately. It's not gonna be housing crash. People talking about it. This is what I say. Like, if you're a prepper, what do? Go out there and buy some more cans of whatever, right? Keep prepping, they tell you. All that's doing is causing inflation because you're consuming more than you need. You're pulling demand forward and you're causing inflation now. Doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. If you think that we are having inflation, then you going out there, you should be telling people cut back on your spending, reduce your spending. But instead, they tell you to go out there and consume. You get the people, the buy gold people, the buy silver people. It's all coming down. Buy silver. Oh, by the way, here's the link to my store where you can go out and buy silver. You've got the Bitcoin people. Oh, it's all coming down. The dollar's going away. Oh, here's a link. Buy some Bitcoin, etc. The economy's coming down. Here's the link to my course. So this is what I said in the beginning. When you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. If you're a buy gold person, every time that something goes wrong, it's better buy gold, better buy silver. If you're a prepper, better go out there and stock up some more. Get your solar. Get some more chickens. Get some more cans of food. Just get one more can. And it's all a grift. It's all a grift. You gotta be smarter. When you see all these people telling you to go in one direction, those people are wrong, overwhelmingly. And it's because they're hammers. They only view things from one perspective. How can you have a housing collapse when you got millions of people crossing the border? How are you going to see a housing collapse? People are a resource. America is a consumer economy. When they need more dollars to go overseas, well, it means we need more people, because the amount of people that we have right now are not meeting the consumption goals. All those people coming across the border, what's that going to do to corporate profits? Because they're going to need to consume. They're going to buy clothes. They're going to buy food. They're going to need housing. They're going to need healthcare. It's going to provide jobs. What's that going to do to the economy? Economy is going to go up. Economy is expanding because more people are coming into the economy and they're going to offer goods and services. Where is the crash going to come from? Anyway, I'm going to bed. I got work tonight. Thanks for watching. Hit the like. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Have a good day.